Ladies and gentlemen, Kim here. Welcome to the daily update. Hope you guys had a good day trading today. Market is pretty much flat here on the S&P. Looks like NASDAQ saw a little bit of red day today, about 0.3% negative. Semiconductors down 1.6% today. Dow down about half a percentage. Small caps green slightly there. Banks is green slightly. Energy made a move today with 3.5%. I want to quickly check this real quick with you guys, because when you look at energy here real quick and go to the daily chart, this is an interesting level right here, right? So you can see right there. So you can see that prior resistance acting as a support. My moving average right here been acting as support here. So that, I mean, overall in a primary sense, the energy is obviously in a still downtrend, right? If you look at things, a big picture in a primary, we're still in a bear market, right? But we might be working something to work here. You can see that we got the higher high, higher low. So primary still in a long-term downtrend, but we got something working here in the midterm and long-term. Potentially this cultivation could lead to something more if this is some sort of a major bottoming signal. Obviously energy being, being this major primary downturn, right? This is primary downtrend bearish signal. So this isn't gonna change until we see some sort of primary higher lows and higher highs taking out this here. But there's a lot of room to be made from here to there. But again, it is a riskier asset that potentially give you higher reward if that higher low, that midterm right here, that mid pivot were to hold, as he already cultivated that higher highs and higher lows in the midterm. So let's go get back to Spider here real quick. So yeah, energy's up about 3.5% today. Transport's down a little bit. Biotech's down almost 1% there. Emerging market is up about 0.7%. Grayscale, Bitcoin's down about 1%. Gold, silver, and the miners are slightly green. Oil is up about $1 is slightly down there. Treasury bond is pretty much flat. VIX is down about 2% there, nothing huge there. Let's stick with the S&P Spider 65-minute chart here. So it looks like, looking at the last, this week's price action, just a lot of wicks here. You see that upper wick, there's another wick here, wick, long wicks here. This is a first time seeing these kind of nasty wicks here in this price that we've seen this week. Just a lot of chop fast, a lot of up and down shenanigans, a lot of moves here. Just market pretty much moving sideways, correcting through time. Let's quickly observe today's price action here. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it looks like this is where we closed yesterday. It's been staying above my micro-term moving average though. You can see that. And on the first hour, we saw that initial gap up. That gap was quickly filled. We made an attempt to make a move here. And the second day, third day, another fluctuation. Fourth day, fifth day, big fluctuation today. And then on the last hour, we kind of puked here because we initially made that move, breaking above that prior resistance, making new highs actually in this micro-term perspective, and then pretty much he gave that all away. And it looks like for the first time this entire week, you can see my micro-term moving average coming out in this side of the body here on that bearish red candle. This is a first time closing last hour, closing the hour below my micro-term moving average. We haven't done that since, it's been holding up since April 23rd. You can see it all throughout this week. It's been holding up. This is a first time we slightly below it. So, if the buyers want to keep this momentum going, they desperately going to need to reclaim that micro-term moving average. Tomorrow, with the gap up or very quick bullish move first hour, and then a second hour to reclaim this loss we've seen on the last hour, today's price action. If we see something like that on the first and second hour, we can say that the micro-term momentum is still bullish. As of now, as of this moment with the data that is at hand, price closing below the micro-term moving average. It is slightly, there's an attempt to make another run up here, but was not able to fully close above it. That tells us that it's starting to get a little bit heavy, right? Bears are kind of taking advantage of this. So I think in the micro term going into tomorrow, I'm going to be labeling, categorizing, and classifying this market neutral to bearish in the micro term. But keep in mind that micro term sentiment can change quickly. As soon as we see first couple hours or so tomorrow start staying below that micro term, you see that micro term moving average start coming down, right there, bearish sentiment in the micro term. So that micro term, that's what we call it, micro term, can shift quickly. Bulls obviously want to reclaim that the micro term. So let's check out the short term moving average. Kind of zoom out a little bit here. So the short term moving average currently residing at 414. I believe if I do a little bit of Fibonacci analysis here, the short term fib, you can see that that's a level coinciding with my 50% retracement 41480s, right? So definitely that level is important level, 414. Coinciding with my short-term moving average. Short-term moving average does have some resume here with these level acting as support. This was back in April 20th and April 22nd. Did fib just now also telling us that 414.85 is important level. So we are currently seeing this pivot right here at 416.60. So if we lose that micro-term moving average, that's the next level of support to watch, 416.64. If we lose that, if we see something like this, let's say if this thing flushed right through 416, there's a good chance it's going to find support on my first level of my fib, and then the micro term moving average is going to start to curl down. We'll see initial bounce, and then use that micro term moving average. You see that moving average right here that it has been acting as a support this entire week, could act as resistance, and then fall down and goes to about 414, right? So I think 414 is going to be, I'm going to put that number right here. So 414 is going to be a stronger support. We lose 416, there's good chance we go to 414. Potentially some people might have tried to catch that or chase this. And from that, if this thing continues lower, there might be some short-term, micro-term panic selling. There might be some shenanigans to the downside. Just the way market moved last couple hours of today, there's some kind of a chasers up here, some YOLO buyers. They might be kind of waiting to see what happens tomorrow. And if there's kind of any kind of sell-off in the first hour or so, they're probably going to hit that exit button. Because these people who go long over here, they're not committed. They're not going to hold anything long-term. They're going to probably exit quickly, and with that there could be some turbulence if we lose 416.64. Let's check out the oscillator and see if we can extract any more information from this analysis. So you can see we saw a whipsawing action. So I actually did tweet it out earlier, because at one point this is what it looked like. This is what it looked like on the 5th hour, right? Everything looked great. It was right on that support on that oscillator. We saw fully, it's not mature, but we saw the initial full cross similar to here. And everything was lining up pretty well, because at the same time, this again, it looked like this. At the same time, we're holding above the short-term moving average. That's kind of what I mean. If the market closed with this candle, with this signal, there's a great chance this thing is ready to get up here. But the last hour move, that kind of ruined it. So now we see whipsawing action right on that support there. So that tells us that there might be. And with this candle right here, that green candle, with that, we actually got that slight higher high because of the 5th hour push. And with that, we got bearish divergence here up here also. So bearish divergence, a little bit of shenanigan on the last hour, breaking below the micro term moving average, the micro term sentiments start to look more bearish and start to look a little bit heavy here. Keep in mind though, this market's been and as far as a pure price action is concerned, this market has been pretty much moving sideways though, doing a good job correcting through time. We can definitely nullify this micro-term bearishness with another bullish candle next tomorrow, first to second hour, right? So another scenario, this is for the buyers. If we can see some sort of a grindy move throughout the day tomorrow and kind of hang out sideways, another sideways day tomorrow, there's chance this could kind of come back down a little lower and then gets back up, something like that, right? Keep in mind, last time we saw cross, we saw correction through price. We saw cross correcting through time. So there's some adamancy here. There's some, there's still some overall bullish sentiment. But I think the key is how this market is going to behave in the first 2 hours tomorrow. We see first 2 hours of bullishness. I think there's a good chance it's going to continue to move sideways and bulls going to just wait until the oscillator resets and then make a run. First 2 hours, we see a downturn, loses 416, we're coming to 414. So, I have an announcement here. There will be no video starting tomorrow until May 9th. So that's Mother's Day. So I'm going to be coming back for you on the day after Mother's Day, which is May 10th, which is Monday. So that's about a week and a half or so. You guys gonna have to navigate this market without me. I'm sure you guys will do just fine. You guys been watching my videos for months, and some of you for years, some of you since COVID. So you guys can kind of see how I look at things, how I use my moving averages, and how I look at these levels, and also how I look at my oscillator. And oscillator is never the king or dictator of analysis. It's also subordinate. Oscillator is always your subordinate and is always your supplement, right? And also keep in mind, I've done these long-term analysis video. I've done every weekend, including past weekend. I mean, that would, those analysis that I've done, the long-term analysis videos that I've done on the weekend video, those analysis should hold you up until I come back, especially if you're a longer-term trader, position trader, long-term investor, right? So again, I'll be gone starting from tomorrow till May 9th. I'll come back for you about a week and a half. I'll come back for you after Mother's Day on Monday. We'll see how the market is trading at the time. I would also have limited access to my social media platforms, so I don't think I'll be tweeting a lot, so keep that in mind. Also, week and a half, you guys be good. I'll come back for you, and I'll talk to you then.